All right, I am with Dan Mayer, one of our students in the SLS Framework Mastermind. Dan, thank you for joining me today. And Dan is a health insurance agent and sales manager at Southern Health Insurance. And Dan, since joining, is generating on average an appointment a day with prospects and has closed two health insurance deal, one for a business for group plan for 9 employees, and that was a total a deal for $141,000 in premium, and Dan made $18,000 in revenue off of that, and another deal a little less than $20,000 in uh, premium and $4,000 in commission and revenue off of that. And that was for a health insurance package for a family. And this was all done using our SLS framework mastermind. And so, not too bad of an ROI, $22,000 in revenue since joining our SLS framework mastermind. Dan, I want to thank you for joining, and I want to pass the ball to you. Please introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And who is it exactly that you help?
Okay, I'm with Southern Health, and I am an independent agent. I work with typically I work with small businesses. Under 10 employees is kind of the sweet spot for me. It's an underserved market in the health insurance industry. I can get a plan roughly 20 to 50% lower than what's available in the marketplace, whether it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, whether it's a marketplace plan or a traditional group plan that they get through a broker. Uh, Probably the best thing that they get is when they sign up with me, they get an agent and they have somebody to reach out to for life. They don't have to wait till next year, find another broker and find another plan. They keep this plan until they turn 65, roll over to Medicare, and they are set with benefits.
Mhm. Thanks for sharing, Dan. And the second question I want to dive into is, before joining our SLS Framework Mastermind, I know you had, you didn't have a consistency getting in front of people and professionals and business owners who you would qualify as ideal prospects, people who need help with health insurance and group benefits, specifically, business owners of 1 to 10 employees, right? That range. And you were relying on referrals, you were doing LinkedIn outreach, LinkedIn prospecting, and that was done manually, and you were finding this time consuming. And so can you tell us a bit more about, before joining our SLS Framework Mastermind, how did you feel with your prospecting efforts? How did that feel?
Well, I would say that I recognize LinkedIn as being a powerful tool to reach out to the people that I had, but it would take me to go through um, to stay under the daily cap that LinkedIn sets. It would take me 2 to 3 months to get through everybody, and by the time I circled back to put in a second message, they've already forgotten about the first message. So once we added in that I can do this automated, I can reach 200 people a day. All I have to do is make sure it's fed, that it has leads to reach out to every day.
hmm And what's the beauty of that is now we're at a point of, you're able to make the most out of your time while still doing that prospecting that you so value. And you're able to book about an appointment a day with your ideal prospects and, close deals consistently. So you have that funnel, right? The messaging is there, you have, the LinkedIn lead generation going, and you're able to, schedule appointments, conduct them, and lead them to follow-up calls all the way to a close. So that whole funnel is set up after joining our SLS Framework Mastermind. You have that in our modules. And how does that feel now compared to before joining? How does that feel now that you're able to install such a system in your practice, and one that is also scalable?
So since joining, with having that messaging all set up, it makes it easier for me to, as long as I have people in there to contact, I know that those messages are going out. And I only have to go in and respond to the messages, move them to the next phase of the funnel if needed. But those are automatic.
Um, how much ease are you having now compared to before, getting in front of your what you would qualify as an ideal prospect, right? So people who need help with health insurance, these types of professionals, and business owners of small business owners. How much more easy you have getting in front of these types of professionals right now?
I mean, it's night and day. I mean, before it was everything was a manual outreach, using whether you were using LinkedIn or you were using the Sales Navigator, you had to check on those messages on both sides to see that who was responding on which platform, I guess. Now everything comes into one mailbox. All I have to do is answer the reply to their responses and go on. Even people who I had connected with last year before I was on the framework are now able to jump back into the conversation. And I mean, I feel it's for the remainder of the year, it's going to be a strong piece of my business.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that with us, Dan. And I think that that's what you shared with me lately is that you were looking to expand this to your team. You are a sales manager and you have team members under you. And I just wanted to talk about how that win. I guess that you would consider that a win for you for your practice and for your business. Like how is the SLS framework looking scalable on your end?
But for let's see, for one of my agents that I have in there, she is relatively new, had a very small network, under 500 connections, and we're able to build that connector campaign looking for people through the second connection that has scaled her from, I want to say it was in the mid 300s maybe when she started, that we're almost to 700 just in maybe 2-3 weeks.
Mhm.
So these are all people that she can reach out to and start to build relationships with and eventually turn them into sales.
Yeah, so basically that ease of, getting your team members exposed to a network of people who you would qualify as ideal prospects to reach out to. So I appreciate you for sharing that. And my last question here, Dan, is what would you say to another, sales manager, health insurance agent, who's on the edge of joining the SLS Framework Mastermind?
Well, I would say yes, join the SLS, but two, do the training. That when I joined, I went through the first 3 weeks, then I got bogged down in the weeds of all of the uh, I guess procedures to go through and setting up the and the connector campaigns, and I kind of saw some other shiny object and went and chased that for a little while, and then came back and did the remaining 3 weeks. And since I've started that, if I had started just completed the 6 weeks straight, I'd be I'm sure that I would be further along, as far as into having the responses, having the connections from the people in the that I'm messaging.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us, Dan. That'll be all for today. And thank you for hopping on.
I appreciate it. You have a great day.